Whenever you hear about UK politics, the headlines are always dominated by the Prime Minister and the drama in the House of Parliament. But did you know that the decisions that actually affect your day-to-day life, like the potholes, collecting bins, funding local transport, are decided by people much closer to home, which is the council? The UK political system is essentially split into two main levels: national and local. We'll break it down exactly how this whole system works. Let's start at the very top, the Prime Minister. If you are from the US or a country with a president, you might assume that the British people vote for their Prime Minister. No, they don't. In the UK, voters never directly elect the Prime Minister. Here's actually how it works. The UK is divided into 650 local areas called constituencies. Now, during a general election, which by law happens at least every 5 years, voters in each constituency elect one person to represent them in the House of Commons. Now, these people are called members of parliament, or MPs for short. Now, the UK uses a voting system where the candidate with the most votes in a constituency wins that seat. If a party wins a majority of these seats, usually about 362 of them, the party wins the election. The party wins the general election. Then the monarch, which is King Charles, will then invite the leader of the winning party to form a government. That party leader then becomes the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is simply the leader of the party that won the most local MPs election. That's the national picture. But who is deciding where your local tax and your money goes? Now let's look at the local picture. The UK is divided into hundreds of local authorities, usually called councils. Now, these councils are responsible for things like school, social care, housing, waste collection, and so on. Just like the country is split into constituencies for national elections, local council areas are split into smaller neighborhoods called wards. During a local election, like the just concluded elections, the people living in the ward vote for a local councillor to represent them. Now, these councillors are usually local residents themselves, and they form the local council. Now, the political parties that get the most councillors elected take control of the local council. But here is where things get a little interesting. Generally, a local council is elected for a tenure of 4 years, but when you vote for them depends entirely on where you live. Some council holds the whole election at once. This means that every single seat is up for grabs at the same time, once every 4 years. But some other councils prefer to do it by the thirds. That means that they vote for a third of the council 1 year, another third the next year, the final third the year after, and then they take a break for a year. Some even do it by half, every 2 years. It means the balance of powers in your local council can shift constantly. And finally, we have to talk about the mayors. If you hear the word mayor in the UK, it actually means one of two very different things. First, we have ceremonial mayors. Most local councils have one of these. They don't hold any actual executive power. They are usually chosen by other local councils, and their tenure is usually 1 year. It's majorly an historic and honorary role. And then there's the elected mayors. These are the people with powerful political power and massive budgets. They are people like Mayor of London or Mayor of Greater Manchester. Now, depending on the region, elected mayors may oversee things like transport, housing, economic development, and sometimes policing. Now, unlike the Prime Minister, these mayors are directly elected by the people. Voters across the whole city or region cast a ballot specifically for the person they want to be mayor. But recently, the UK government changed that rule. Now, mayors in England are elected using the same exact system as the MPs, meaning that the candidate with the highest number of votes across the region immediately wins the job of the mayor. And their tenure is typically 4 years. Your Prime Minister is the leader of the party that wins the most local seats in Parliament. Your local council is made up of councillors elected to 4-year terms to handle everyday community service. UK politics has a lot of moving parts, but it all starts with the local vote. I hope this clears up things a bit. And please don't forget to like the video, follow and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one.